There we go. For some reason it was taking a while for my phone to recognize what I didn't want to not stream, but video horizontal. I wanted to do vertical. So here's where we're at right now. I'm gonna start with the center stuff, I think. Today, let's see, right there. I'm gonna do these around here. Today I wanted to listen to a brief audio book. It's in the public domain because it's over, I think it's actually over 100, well, almost 100 years old. So I shouldn't have any problems with copyright issues. And if you guys don't want to hear it, it's only 15 minutes long. But if you don't want to hear it, feel free to just go ahead and mute the sound. But it's really good, and I encourage everybody to listen to it.
It Works by R.H.J. The famous little red book that makes your dreams come true. A clear, definite, common-sense plan of accomplishment. Originally published in 1926. This book, with its valuable message, is presented to you by the Master Key Society. Copyright 2021, Master Key Society, read by Randy Scott. All you joy would win must share it. Happiness was born a twin. Byron. The author sent the manuscript of this book for criticism to a friend who returned it with the notation, "It works." This judgment, born of experience, was adopted as the title of the book. Publishers. A concise, definite, restful plan with rules, explanations and suggestions for bettering your condition in life. If you know what you want, you can have it. The man who wrote this book is highly successful and widely known for his generosity and helpful spirit. He gives full credit for all that he has accomplished in mastering circumstances, accumulating wealth, and winning friends to the silent working out of the simple, powerful truth which he tells of in his work. He shows you here an easy, open road to a larger, happier life, knowing that the greatest good comes from helping others without expecting praise. The author of this work has requested that his name be omitted. What is the real secret of obtaining desirable possessions? Are some people born under a lucky star or other charm which enables them to have all that which seems so desirable? And if not, what is the cause of the difference in conditions under which men live? Many years ago, feeling that there must be a logical answer to this question, I decided to find out, if possible, what it was. I found the answer to my own satisfaction, and for years have given the information to others who have used it successfully. From a scientific, psychological, or theological viewpoint, some of the following statements may be interpreted as incorrect, but nevertheless, the plan has brought the results desired to those who have followed the simple instructions, and it is my sincere belief that I am now presenting it in a way which will bring happiness and possessions to many more. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride, is the attitude taken by the average man and woman in regard to possessions. They are not aware of a power so near that it is overlooked, so simple an operation that it is difficult to conceive, and so sure in results that it is not made use of consciously, or recognized as the cause of failure or success. Gee, I wish that were mine, is the outburst of Jimmy, the office boy, as a new red roadster goes by. And Florence, the telephone operator, expresses the same thought regarding a ring in the jeweler's window. While poor old Jones, the bookkeeper, during the Sunday stroll, replies to his wife, "Yes, dear, it would be nice to have a home like that, but it is out of the question. We will have to continue to rent." Landham, the salesman, protests that he does all the work, gets the short end of the money, and will someday quit his job and find a real one. And President Bondum, in his private sanctorum, voices a bitter tirade against the annual attack of hay fever. At home, it is much the same. Last evening, father declared that daughter Mabel was headed straight for disaster, and today, mother's allowance problem and other trying affairs fade into insignificance as she exclaims, "This is the last straw." Robert's school teacher wants to see me this afternoon. His reports are terrible. I know, but I'm late for bridge now. She'll have to wait until tomorrow. So goes the endless stream of expressions like these from millions of people in all classes who give no thought to what they really want, and who are getting all they are entitled to or expect. If you're one of these millions of thoughtless talkers or wishers and would like a decided change from your present condition, you can have it. But first of all, you must know what you want, and this is no easy task. When you can train your objective mind, the mind you use every day, to decide definitely upon the things or conditions you desire, you will have taken your first big step in accomplishing or securing what you know you want. To get what you want is no more mysterious or uncertain than the radio waves all around you. Tune in correctly, and you get a perfect result. But to do this, it is, of course, necessary to know something of your equipment and have a plan of operation. You have within you a mighty power, anxious and willing to serve you, a power capable of giving you that which you earnestly desire. This power is described by Thompson J. Hudson, PhD, LLD, author of The Law of Psychic Phenomena as Your Subjective Mind. Other learned writers use different names and terms, but all agree that it is omnipotent. Therefore,
Omnipotent.
I call this
I
power
like that word.
Emmanuel, God in us. Regardless of the name of the great power, or the conscious admission of a God, the power is capable and willing to carry to a complete and perfect conclusion very earnest desire of your objective mind. But you must be really in earnest about what you want. Occasional wishing or half-hearted wanting does not form a perfect connection or communication with your omnipotent power. You must be in earnest, sincerely and truthfully desiring certain conditions or things, mental, physical, or spiritual. Your objective mind and will are so vacillating that you usually only wish for things and the wonderful. Capable power within you does not function. Most wishes are simply vocal expressions. Jimmy, the office boy, gave no thought of possessing the red roadster. Landham, the salesman, was not thinking of any other job or even thinking at all. President Bondum knew he had hay fever and was expecting it. Father's business was quite likely successful, and Mother no doubt brought home first prize from the bridge party that day. But they had no fixed idea of what they really wanted their children to accomplish, and were actually helping to bring about the unhappy conditions which existed. If you are in earnest about changing your present condition, here is a concise, definite, resultful plan with rules, explanations, and suggestions. The plan. Write down on paper, in order of their importance, the things and conditions you really want. Do not be afraid of wanting too much. Go the limit in writing down your wants. Change the list daily, adding to or taking from it, until you have it about right. Do not be discouraged on account of changes, as this is natural. There will always be changes and additions with accomplishments and increasing desires. 3 positive rules of accomplishment.
Oh, we got an ad coming.
One, read the list of what you want 3 times each day, morning, noon, and night. 2, think of what you want as often as possible. 3, do not talk to anyone about your plan except to the great power within you, which will unfold to your objective mind the method of accomplishment. It is obvious that you cannot acquire faith at the start. Some of your desires, from all practical reasoning, may seem positively unattainable, but nevertheless, write them down on your list in the proper place of importance to you. There is no need to analyze how this power within you is going to accomplish your desires. Such a procedure is as unnecessary as trying to figure out why a grain of corn placed in fertile soil shoots up a green stalk, blossoms, and produces an ear of corn containing hundreds of grains, each capable of doing what the one grain did. If you will follow this definite plan and carry out the 3 simple rules, The method of accomplishment will unfold quite as mysteriously as the ear of corn appears on the stalk, and in most cases, much sooner than you expect. When new desires, deserving position at or about the top of your list come to you, then you may rest assured you are progressing correctly. Removing from your list items which at first you thought you wanted is another sure indication of progress. It is natural to be skeptical and have doubts, distrust, and questionings. But when these thoughts arise, get out your list, read it over, or if you have it memorized, talk to your inner self about your desires until the doubts that interfere with your progress are gone. Remember, nothing can prevent your having that which you earnestly desire. Others have these things. Why not you? The omnipotent power within you does not enter into any controversial argument. It is waiting and willing to serve when you are ready. But your objective mind is so susceptible to suggestion that it is almost impossible to make any satisfactory progress when surrounded by skeptics. Therefore, choose your friends carefully and associate with people who now have some of the things you really want, but do not discuss your method of accomplishment with them. Put down in your list of wants such material things as money, home, automobile, or whatever it may be. Do not stop there. Be more definite. If you want an automobile, decide what kind, style, price, color, and all other details, including when you want it. If you want a home, plan the structure, grounds, and furnishings. Decide on location and cost. If you want money, write down the amount. If you want to break a record in your business, put it down. It may be a sales record. If so, write out the total, the date required, then the number of items you must sell to make it. Also list your prospects and put after each name the sum expected. This may seem very foolish at first, but you can never realize your desires if you do not know how positively and in detail what you want and when you want it. If you cannot decide this, you are not in earnest. You must be definite, and when you are, results will be surprising and almost unbelievable. A natural and ancient enemy will no doubt appear when you get your first taste of accomplishment. This enemy is discredit, in form of such thoughts as, it can't be possible, it just happened to be. What a remarkable coincidence. When such thoughts occur, give thanks and assert credit to your omnipotent power for the accomplishment. By doing this, you gain assurance and more accomplishment, and in time, prove to yourself that there is a law which actually works at all times when you are in tune with it. Sincere and earnest thanks cannot be given without gratitude, and it is impossible to be thankful and grateful without being happy. Therefore, when you are thanking your greatest and best friend, your omnipotent power, for the gifts received, do so with all your soul, and let it be reflected in your face. The power in what it does is beyond understanding. Do not try to understand it, but accept the accomplishment with thankfulness, happiness, and strength and faith. Caution. It is possible to want and obtain that which will make you miserable, that which will wreck the happiness of others, that which will cause sickness and death, that which will rob you of eternal life. You can have what you want, but you must take all that goes with it. So in planning your wants, plan that which you are sure will give to you and your fellow man the greatest good here on earth, thus paving the way to that future hope beyond the pale of human understanding. This method of securing what you want applies to everything you are capable of desiring, and the scope being so great. It is suggested that your first list consist only of those things with which you are quite familiar, such as an amount of money or accomplishment, or the possession of material things. Such desires as these are more easily and quickly obtained than the discontinuance of fixed habits, the welfare of others, and the healing of mental or bodily ills. Accomplish the lesser things first, then take the next step. And when that is accomplished, you will seek the higher and really important objectives in life. But long before you reach this stage of your progress, many worthwhile desires will find their place on your list. One will be to help others as you have been helped. Great is the reward to those who help and give without thought of self, as it is impossible to be unselfish without gain. In conclusion, a short while ago, Dr. Emile Coué came to this country and showed thousands of people how to help themselves. Thousands of others spoofed at the idea, refused his assistance, and are today where they were before his visit. So with the statements and plan presented to you now, you can reject or accept. You can remain as you are or have anything you want. The choice is yours. But God grant that you may find in this short volume the inspiration to choose aright. Follow the plan and thereby obtain, as so many others have, all things, whatever they may be, that you desire. Read the entire book over again, and again, and then again. Memorize the 3 simple rules on pages 13 and 14. Test them now on what you want most this minute. This book could have extended easily over 350 pages, but it has been deliberately shortened to make it as easy as possible for you to
350
read,
pages.
understand,
Come up with that number.
and use. Will you try it? Thousands of bettered lives will testify to the fact that it works. A letter to you from the author. Dear reader, the great possessions of life are all gifts mysteriously bestowed. Sight, hearing, aspiration, love, or life itself.
I guess that is kind
The
of
same
true.
is true of ideas. The richest of them are given to us. As for instance, the powerful idea which this book has given you. What are you going to do with it? Are you surprised when I tell you the most profitable thing you can do is give it away? You can do this in an easy and practical way by having this book sent to those you know who need it. In this way, you can help in the distribution of this worthwhile effort to make the lives of others better and happier. You know people who are standing still or who are worried and discouraged. This is your chance to help them help themselves. If you withhold this book from them, you will lose the conscious satisfaction that comes from doing good. If you see that they get this book, then you put yourself in line with the law of life which says, you get by giving. And you may rightly expect prosperity and achievement. At the very least, you will have the inner sense of having done a good deed with no hope of being openly thanked, and your reward will come secretly in added power and larger life. The author.
That's interesting, huh? I think the thing that I didn't really care about that was the omnipotent power within yourself. I know a lot of people, talk about the God within. And I think that's just my personal belief is that that's a trap. That's to keep your eyes off the one true God. And I'm not talking about the Judeo-Christian God. I'm talking about the creators of this planet, who I believe are the creators of this planet. And it's like a deviation from what they've tried to teach us to focus on them and draw our strength and power, or not even power, but from them and not from ourselves. That we desire to serve God, not man. And in serving God, you're serving yourself. But again, right, like, who is God? What is God? I think a lot of people have different ideas about that, and I think it's important to question what we have been programmed to believe. I was programmed to believe in Christianity, even though I always, there was just a part of me that just didn't, it just didn't make sense. And I never felt anything from that figurehead. Well, we know in the United States that, Christianity is portrayed as, we all think of some white guy up in the heavens, with long flowing robes and long white beard and white, white, white. And even just looking at where that religion originated from, nobody's white there. Jesus Christ was not a white man. But yet that image still persists in our American society, and it's a trap. It's wrong. I think all peoples, their gods are the same color as them. I could be really wrong about that, but we believe what we look like, right? Like, it's easier to accept a white god than it is to think, oh, well, maybe he had dark skin and dark features and dark hair. I know there's some African movements that say that Jesus was black and not brown. And who's to say who's right? Maybe everybody's right. Or maybe we're all following a false god that's masquerading as the real God and distracting us all. Which is a horrifying thought. I'm looking at this center ring here and trying to figure out what I want to color it. But so this guy's what we just listened to. He's just saying, if you're in earnest and you know what you want and you basically meditate on it every day, then it'll happen. I mean, I know I've spent a lot of time. I think I'm going to do that circle of silver. I've spent a lot of time thinking, if we just had, this amount of money, and we wouldn't be so strapped, and we wouldn't have to go work every day, and, could pay off the debt, or, figure out how to get rid of the debt, not get in any more debt. But maybe I need to, doesn't hurt to try something, right? Doesn't hurt to make a list and then think about it. What did he say? Morning, noon, and night? And just see what may come of that. Who knows? Maybe I'll have $100,000 and be able to pay off this RV and be able to pay off our camping membership and be able to pay off the debt that we unfortunately ran up, and then won't be so stressed. Sawyer and I have done so far only 3 public meetings now talking about the belief system that we have, that we learned. I see a piece here that looks like it's not colored very well, so I'm going to go over that. And the first event that we did, it was priced a little too high. The event coordinator priced it a little high, and it was really long. It was an all-day affair, but a lot of people, I think about 60 people came to that one throughout the course of the event. It started at noon and ended at 9 p.m. And we got to share some things with a lot of people. And the next event that we did sold out, standing room only, and there were people coming in that just were wanting to just stand on the side and just listen to what primarily Sawyer has to say. I try to take a back seat to him. He's been believing it for since 1975, 5, I think, is when he joined up with the teachers that he had and with the group that they were in. And I just learned about it, 3, 4, I guess it's been 5 years now. And when I first heard about it, when I heard the teacher speaking, I believed everything that he was saying, and it just made sense to me. It sounds crazy to a lot of other people, and we've gotten some flack online for it. But it feels good to talk about what you believe, just like, the guy this book that we just listened to, little red book that we just listened to. If you believe something and you have the faith and you see things happening in accordance with that belief, then it just strengthens your belief in it. I never had purpose before, and then after listening to this information, I have a purpose. I think I'm going to do these little dots in here, that copper color. Or maybe green would make more sense. There's Evie piping in. Let me see. Talking about just these little thingies in here. There's not that many of them. But yeah, I like listening to stuff that gives us different ideas. That thing that we just listened to, it sounds a lot like The Secret, which I remember when I heard that, I thought, oh wow, that's really cool. I mean, basically The Secret is the rule of attraction, the law of attraction, and this gentleman spoke about that it's a law as well. It's like a law of the universe or something, that what you put out, you receive. And I think a lot of people have experienced that. If you put out negativity, then you get negativity back. I'm going with that copper color for the little dots on the inside here. These inside, there's really tiny, but I know that when I focus on the negative, that's what I get, is negativity. So it stands to reason, if you focus on the positive, that you'll get positivity back. And we all want to be positive, right? One of the really big, I don't want to say tenets or whatever, but one of the sayings of the belief system that I have is turn a negative into a positive. So whatever negative you perceive as a negative, like, oh, driving into work and got a flat tire. Now I have a flat tire and I got to spend money and I got to spend time that I would normally be making money, and I can't. If you got a normal job, then you got to call into work and let them know what's happening, and it's just like this whole ordeal, right? I think I'm going to use that copper color for these little inside things too. I have a perfect example of a flat tire story. This one of my Facebook friends was driving in, I don't know if she was going to a doctor's appointment or what she was doing, but she was driving and she got a flat, and it caused her to have to go to a different doctor. And the doctor, she had a mole or something on her nose, and she'd been trying to get her general practitioner to set her up with a dermatologist so she could get this clump of things looked at, and her general practitioner couldn't make it happen, that her insurance didn't cover it or something. But this one doctor that she happened to go to took a sample, sent it off. It was cancerous, and she just had it removed. So she was talking on her Facebook post. She said, if I hadn't gotten a flat tire in that part of town and seen that doctor's office, then she credits that doctor with saving her life for being able to just get her in so quickly and remove that clump of cells, and she got the results back, and sure enough, it was melanoma. It was cancer. So that's one positive. I always think, if I get a flat tire, then maybe that's my car's way, let's, call it higher power's way of stopping me from maybe getting into an accident, of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Who knows? Like, I would get frustrated at being stopped at a train crossing, especially up in Notre Dame. There's so many trains. Like, why won't they build bridges? But then there would be an accident. Or maybe there would have been an accident if I hadn't gotten stopped at that railroad crossing. Or maybe I saw something or interacted with somebody or just whatever, there's just always something positive that can come out of it. Anything that happens that we think, oh, that's a negative, try to turn it to a positive. It's fun. It's like a little game. It's like a little game. It may seem really, Sawyer and I always say, if, we're down in the dumps, we're feeling bad about something, or, it just seems like it's too much. And we just say, well, we must be doing something right, because we sure are getting attacked by negativity right now. So for whatever reason, they're, trying to make us feel bad. So we can't continue on in a forward motion positively. And then also just know that there's outside influences that, we can call them demons or whatever you want to call them, but there's influences that basically feed off of us. We've all heard of energy vampires and people where, you hang out with somebody and you just feel drained after you're done. It's just like, gosh, what just happened to me? And then hopefully it doesn't take you too long to realize that person's just basically making you feel certain ways and feeding on your energy that you output. They may not even realize it. They've just been doing it for so long. I've known several individuals like that. Probably why I keep to myself a lot. But these, influences is what we call them. They do the same thing. They're just feeding off of us, off our energy. It may sound crazy, but there's another statement that we say that there's, the creators of this planet, they didn't create negativity. So anything negative that happens to you is not coming from them. It's coming from influences, lower forces, as opposed to higher forces. And who wants to listen to that? Not me. It's a really effective way to go through life. Just like, I'm not going to listen to that negative. Not going to listen to it. We're going to do these little circles in here. And like I said, if any of this is bugging you, I probably shouldn't be talking about my personal beliefs or whatever. It might draw people away, but I would say just mute me. But I think there's some value to what I have to say. Get all these little green dots done, and that's about 35 minutes, guys. So we're gonna stop this one and zoom out so we can see where we're at. It's looking really good. I'm really liking it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the new subscribers that I'm getting. I really appreciate it a lot. And I hope to see you in the next video.